Hello everyone and welcome back to season 1 episode 8 of Kali Call of Darkness. And I'm so excited for this. I was so mad last episode at the end because I literally paid 20 gems for her to be able to defend herself, stand up for herself, and in the end the only thing that she could do was yell at the ghost and it still attacked her. So never mind. Amala decides to visit Kaligat, the main temple of Kali. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. The team learns more information about the goddess and the ritual associated with her, while also getting to know a certain Mr. Dubai. Okay. I'm still not having Mr. Rose, though. He's bringing shame to that name, and I loved that name since American Dragon. Do not ruin my beautiful view of the name Rose, Mr. Rose. Episode 8, Kali's Shelter. Aisha's cold fingers closed around my forearm. She furiously dug her nails into it, her eyes burning with obsession. Hungry. I've been hungry for so long. Girl, you did murder your child. And I'm so cold and in this darkness. There's warmth in your body. Give it to me. You do know. Killing me is not gonna bring you back to life, girl. A resentful stare, an icy grip, and a full hiss. Aisha was filled with a visceral hatred for me. It felt hypnotic, disorienting, and it made me dizzy. My hands and feet went numb, and the tips of my fingers started tingling. I felt as something was trying to force my consciousness out of my body, forcefully stripping it away from me. Oh no. Be afraid, fear only makes blood sweeter. A whirlpool of fog was drawing me in deeper, and I couldn't see anything. All sounds grew distant and muffled as if I were deep underwater. My brain feels like cotton wool. I barely feel anything. Aisha's fingers parted suddenly. She growled softly as if trying to drive someone away. A voice rang out. I couldn't see who it was, but I could feel it. It was Sana. I was strangely sure about it. Let the protection of the body manifest. Speech and mind. From all the harm of the elemental. I knew that she knew more than she let on. I said that last episode. How can you talk about the goddess Kali and pray to her if you don't actually know anything about her? It felt like the bubble around my head had suddenly burst. Breathing became heavier. Breathing became easier, and the pressure on my chest gradually faded away. Gasping for air, I grabbed at the fabric covering my abdomen. I leaped to my feet, opening my eyes wide. Yeah. The hallway was empty, in the middle of the darkness of the night. Everything was in its place and the green haze was gone. It had happened again. I held my head weakly as I slowly sank back to the floor. The sense of impending doom washed over me again. So tired. I'm so tired. Sana's soft hands touched my shoulder. I almost jumped, having completely forgotten about her. Miss Khan, how did you end up here all alone, with that in the hallway? I just shook my head before immediately turning to face her. With that? Did you see her too, Sana? I couldn't have missed her with this much dark energy enveloping the entire house. If you saw that too, then I'm not going insane? Otherwise you wouldn't have been able to see the same thing as me, right? I think that she also has the capability to see through that veil to the other side. You're not insane, miss. Not at all. No, you're just special. You have that something that makes you be capable to enter the other side, go to the other side. Because if she would only be there in spirit, then she couldn't feel them and they couldn't attack her. They would literally go through her like some kind of spirit, like a ghost. And they can touch her, they can hurt her. So that means that she is also physically there. And that's a power. She's capable to go to the other side and stand there as if she would live there. That's a power. The maid hurriedly took me by my arm, helping me to my feet. Accept her help. Come on now. Why be so mean? I think that she actually saved you there because you're incapable. Let me stop. I'm sorry, but I paid gems for her to be able to defend herself and she only got attacked anyways. I gave in when Sana gently pulled me up. Thank you. It's fine. I can see that you're not feeling well. I don't understand. With the maid's help, I finally stood back up. Don't let the boots fool you. You're not insane. Boots? Supernatural beings? I felt so unsettled and exhausted that I struggled to think straight. That's nonsense. No, it's not. Don't be so sure of it. What you just saw, did it make sense? Oh. Don't be so sure of it. What you just saw, didn't it make you think? I did, about my own madness. Sana pursed her lips in displeasure, looking at me. Her hair was disheveled, her eyes sad, and she was trembling slightly. What are you holding? A 7-color loop thread, an amulet. It helped me protect you. I remained silent. I had no strength left to argue and try to convince Sana. Sana, on the other hand, was not prepared to let it go. She saw the way I was acting and realized that I was just keeping quiet out of exhaustion. Come on, miss. I'll tell you something. You better not have me pay for that. Let me be of some help before I leave you. The maid slowly walked down the corridor toward the door to the balcony. Let's not talk in the hallway. It's not very safe. Sana went over the bench and sat down. I obediently sat next to her. The night's breeze soothed my burning skin. Covered in a cold sweat, I took a deep breath, feeling free and happy to be outside beneath the night sky. Just a few moments ago, I was gasping for air. I'm not sure if you're just in denial or you truly believe that you're going insane, but it's time for you to dig deeper. What are you getting at, Sana? Digging deeper is, in your opinion, honestly believing in the supernatural? Supernatural? What do you mean by that? Well, spirits, deities, amulets, path of loyalty. As an Indiologist, I respect all cultures. You better respect it in general, girl. Every single being has a different religion, a different hair color, a different skin color, a different belief, a different culture, a different way of living. And you better respect everything about that, not because of your job description, girl. But only the social aspects of it. Religions and mythologies are a thing of the past for me. It's not something that can be considered real today. Every culture had its unique gods and traditions, which I enjoy studying as part of their cultural heritage. But applying it to my life and believing that something like that actually exists, I'd rather be brave enough to admit that I have mental issues like my grandmother. Girl. But the point is, you are not insane. So you can't say that you are. You're not insane. You have this power. And in order for that not to freak you out and make you die one of these days, you have to learn how to control it. I think of it as, I think that was another story that I didn't write it, but I read it. I think it was, Is It Love, Peter? And she was a medium. She was capable to see ghosts, but the more she learned to control her powers, the more she was capable to send those ghosts into the other world. Like back into the other world again. Like if she learns how to control her powers, she can protect herself from these things as soon as she gets into the other world unknowingly. Because I don't think that she willingly wants to go there right now. I knit my brows, frowning. You told me about the Brahmins, but I have nothing to do with them. These are ridiculous fantasies. You know that you're being rude right now. Even if, say the Brahmins have some sort of sixth sense, I have nothing to do with them. Sana listened to me in silence, then finally replied, Maybe it's the other way around? Are you more comfortable thinking that you're just going insane rather than believing it's something more? You should challenge what you think you know about the world. Start questioning yourself. Think outside of the box. Fine, let's do it. What are your arguments in favor of the fact that all of this is true? We both saw the booth that attacked you today. What makes you think that it was a booth? Everything points to it. Oh God. Both are people who were brutally murdered in the past and haven't found peace. Oh! I thought booth is just another word in this story for supernatural being, like ghost. They are angry spirits who want to possess someone else's body. Okay, so technically, like I said, season 3 of Teen Wolf. And what was that? A dark kitsune. They are angry spirits. They got brutally murdered. They don't want to be dead yet. So they want to possess someone else's body and live their life, technically. They don't have shadows and can't touch the floor in the house. They are looking for those who are weak in spirit, who can be confused, deceived, scared. Once they further weaken the victim's will, they finally attack. It's so similar to what happened today. Considering what Sana was saying, I began to remember. Neither Amir nor Asha touched the floor with their feet. They seemed to float a few inches above it, and both didn't cast a shadow. Okay. Naive, don't think madness is knowledge. Oh God, Amir, oof. Visions, premonitions, you have a very high opinion of yourself. This isn't it, this is different. Your grandmother is insane, your mother is insane, and you will go insane. They were both talking about how I'm insane, or rather trying to convince me that I'm insane. They? Yes, there was another one a few days ago. What did he tell you? He said something, the same thing Asha said today. Do you remember the exact words? This whole universe was born by you, this world was created by you. In the end, you always devour it. Manifest as a destructive force. It's a great honor to fall victim to you, O Dark Mother. Mother of strife, mother of time. Those were the tantras dedicated to goddess Kali, the Dark Shakti. Sana seemed so taken aback and terrified by my words that she stood immobile and remained silent for an entire minute. She covered her mouth with her hand and turned away, peering somewhere into the darkness of the night. My God, but how? Why did they come to you? What does it mean, Sana? I'm not going insane and it was all real? Miss, how can you still not believe it? Please take this seriously. Being visited by boots is a warning you can't ignore. They are not simply drawn to you, to your energy. They seek to plant doubt and fear in your soul. Sana suddenly leaped to her feet, overcome with excitement and indignation. You need an amulet. Let me make one for you while I'm still here. Once I leave, I won't be able to help you anymore. An amulet? That's a good idea. There is no need. Honestly now. Why not? Murder me. It will ease my mind, whether I believe it or not. And mine too, miss. Trust me, it will do its work. I only need a day. I'll make it for you. Thank you for taking care of me. This amulet will be very helpful in the future. Okay. There is a reason the boot are drawn to you. We need to deal with this immediately. You're a magnet for that. Ooh! What could it be? And why did they recite the tantras dedicated to Kali? I don't know. Are you sure? Sana nervously turned around, heading to the balcony's door. I think she's afraid of what it could mean. I think she can figure something out, but she isn't entirely sure. Come on, miss. You'd better get a good night's sleep. You've been through a lot tonight. Before I had time to object, Sana had already opened the door and entered the house. I felt as everything around me had become entangled in a chaotic web, making it impossible to make sense of anything. Well, what can you do? I didn't open my eyes until the morning. What had happened seemed like a strange dream, but my body remembered Asha's grip too well to write it off as a nightmare. It unsettled me so much that I ended up sleeping soundly through the night. Okay, it's time to get ready. I have a lot of work to do today. Yeah. With Mr. Rose. I'm going with the blue sari. I think this majestic blue suits me. Such a beautiful sari deserves jewelry that will bring out its color. Okay. Nah. Yes, this one. Let's go. Noble sapphires. I need something else to complete this Indian style look. Maybe I should put on makeup? Yes. Oh, wow. Natural makeup, okay. Focus on the lips. Focus on the eyes. Honestly, I always focus on the eyes. I think that's better. We focus on the eyes. That's pretty. Okay, now I'll get in touch with my colleagues. I have no idea. I have an idea. Oh my god, she looks so pretty. A moment later, I was on the line with my team leader. Hello, Miss Khan. Good morning, Mr. Rose. It has been good so far. I held back a heavy sigh as I rolled my eyes. I have a suggestion for what we could do today. I'm all ears. What will you impress us with this time? I hate Mr. Rose with a passion. Time goes by, but Rose doesn't change. He takes any opportunity to pick on me. I'm sure he'll try his best to disagree with my idea to visit the temple of the goddess Kali. And it's clear that he's harboring a grudge now, after our argument at the archive. How can I convince him that it will be useful to visit Kali God? Demand it. I don't think that's gonna work, even though I would love to do that. Use the fact that he dislikes you. It's not gonna work because he's gonna say that we're childish. I don't know. He's a Karen, so it's gonna work out like that. Trick him? I have information that our killer is directly affiliated with a particular branch of Shaktism. He worships the goddess Kali. For the reason we need to visit her temple in order to get more details and better understand our killer's motives. What does it mean you have information? When, where, and who gave it to you? Loyalty, let's go. Are you in contact with someone potentially connected to the killer? If that's the case, then we need them, not your goddess. Well, it's a reliable source, but he doesn't know the killer. That's not what's important now. What's important is that we really need to go to the Temple of Kali. Minus respect, this all sounds really strange, Miss Gunn. I think you're either trying to trick me or get something from me. In either case, this won't end well for you. It's better not to mess with this person, but you're not only nosy, but you're also a terrible liar. Go to your temple or wherever you want to go. Just stay out of my set today. I wanted to gather everyone at the bazaar to interview the local vendors about Amir, but Mr. Vaish will be enough. Well, bye. And you can pick where to go, and who you'll go with, but God forbid you don't learn anything useful. So everything is set? Yes, report back to me tomorrow. No, I won't report a damn thing to you. The team leader hung up the phone without wasting time on pleasantries. I'm starting to get used to this. I'm not. I would have yelled at this man. Like, How dare he treat us like this, honestly now? Like, who does he think he is? I'm still a person. I had breakfast alone. My morning routine and the long conversation with Rose took long enough for the Chauhans to finish their breakfast without me. Before leaving the house, I decided to exchange a few words with Priyanka and let her know that I was heading to work. I found her together with Aryan on the balcony on the first floor. Aryan was sitting in an armchair drinking tea and looking through a newspaper. He was talking quietly about something with his wife, who was digging into the flower pots. Good morning.
Good morning, Amala. We haven't seen you at all lately.
You look well.
Thank you. I just wanted to let you know that I'm leaving for work.
Ah, will I ever hear anything else from you?
Priyanka put her hands on her hips and shook her head, pretending to be annoyed.
Merodil, don't pester the girl. She was brought up in a different culture.
Morals might be different, but our essence as people is all the same. There is no need to invent anything new.
Go, Amala. Good luck to you. Is your work coming along fine?
Well, kind of. We're slowly getting on with it.
You're always talking about work. One day I'll be sitting at home all alone.
Priyanka!
My husband is at work, my guest is at work, and very soon Sana will be busy with her children.
Did you take the measurements for the wedding sari? I'm starting to arrange the details of the ceremony.
I raised my eyebrows in surprise and I chimed in. Measurements? Sari? So soon?
Why, wait, the groom is a catch. If we hesitate, someone else will steal him from right under our nose.
You know, sometimes I bet the wedding will be beautiful, and Sana will make for such a beautiful bride. I'm sure that the days of the celebration will turn out to be fun and joyful.
You're right, my dear. Maybe a handsome man will notice you too.
Miss Chauhan!
I'm just thinking out loud.
The wedding was scheduled so suddenly. Everything is moving too quickly. Apparently that's how it is done here. I decided not to waste any more time, so I said goodbye to the Chauhans and went to work. I can't stand Mr. Rose. Seriously, he has to go. Like, this is actually bullying at this point. Like, he's not even trying to hide the dislike he has for us. That's literally bullying at this point. By noon, I was already at the Kaligat Temple Square. It was sunny and the noisy street was crowded. Vendors were calling people over and praising their goods, while beggars clung to passers-by and asked for money. I looked around for anyone I could recognize. I smiled involuntarily when I noticed KILLIAN sheltering from the sun under a small tree. He looked a little annoyed watching the chaos around the Kaligat. That was something funny about it. Same. I remembered our last conversation. KILLIAN asked me to think about what I want from our relationship. Considering what happened last night, I didn't have the time or opportunity to think it over. Once I have at least one calm and quiet evening, I'll decide what I want. Without any further delay, I walked over to KILLIAN. When he saw me, his expression instantly changed.
Amala, I'm so glad you're here.
How come you're so forward? What if someone of our group colleagues are here too?
No one else is here. I got here first. Lema said she'll come a bit later.
So it's just us?
Yes, and the screaming crowd outside the temple.
Alright, how did I not notice them right away? I smirked. Our playful banter made me happy. We were silent for a while. To be standing side by side after everything that happened between us felt like unfamiliar territory. I paused for a moment, unsure where to look. I turned to KILLIAN and realized that he was staring at me.
You know, someday we'll have a day off here in Calcutta.
Lightwood offered me his arm, and we walked along the square.
It would be great to spend it together.
We tried not to get out of the shade. The sun had now reached its zenith, and I didn't want to get under its scorching rays. And where would you like to go?
I don't know. It does not matter where as long as the company is good.
Aww.
But I'm not rushing you. It's better to think it over properly.
Yes, I agree. There is no need to rush. We turned into an alley. Okay. It was quiet and deserted.
You should know I would have never confessed my feelings for you, nor I would have touched you. if I wasn't being sincere.
You mean...
I already told you. What have you told me? Don't make me repeat myself. I like you, Amala. I take these things seriously, because rushing into things can only cause upset or even ruin everything. If you don't think the same, then we should stop right here.
No. I looked at KILLIAN, a little surprised. That's right. A strong man like KILLIAN doesn't have many weaknesses, and his attachment to someone seems to be one of them. If I play with his feelings, he won't forgive me for it, and will no longer let me get close to him. Take his hand. Without saying a word, I gently took his large hand in mine and pulled it so that he had to take a step toward me. Now we were standing very close to each other. I'm not that kind of person. I don't play games.
I thought so.
And I won't fall in love with just anyone while on a work trip.
Are we already talking about falling in love?
Come on, that's not what I mean saying. I playfully shoved KILLIAN in the chest. He didn't budge. You know what I mean.
I have no idea. Unlike me, you haven't said anything yet.
I thought you gave me time to think.
Yes, but it's hard for me to be completely in the dark and admire you from afar.
Oh, KILLIAN, being so crushed. I think you're close enough now. There were barely a couple of inches between us.
Yes, and I like this much better.
KILLIAN. I looked up at KILLIAN. KILLIAN looked at me with a slight smile, tinged with curiosity.
If you keep stalling, I'll end up doing the same things.
What kind of things?
Losing control and kissing you.
In that case, I will be taking my time with that answer.
Don't flirt with me so blandly.
Why? Or what I would. I stuck out the tip of my tongue laughing, and KILLIAN took my hand. He leaned forward, gently taking my chin with one hand. He buried his nose in my hair and moved down to my ear. I felt his soft lips gently kiss me on the cheek, once, twice, 3 times. I stopped smiling, closed my eyes, and breathed in KILLIAN's scent.
You're funny.
He whispered quietly in my ear. Why?
You're sniffing me again.
Again? We have sniffed him once? We already sniffed him? That's funny. For some reason, I felt very embarrassed. Well, actually, some scents are strong aphrodisiacs.
Especially strong for you, it seems.
KILLIAN let out a quiet laugh. I pulled away from him, looking annoyed. Thanks for the talk, Captain Lightwood. Let's move on. KILLIAN laughed again, stepping away from me. You know, I wanted to ask you something.
About what?
I can see that you're serious about relationships and love. You must have been badly hurt at some point. If that's the case, how come you confessed to me so quickly? I mean, you certainly didn't waste time.
Amala, I'm not a boy. And I'm not afraid of realizing that I like someone. There is no use in fighting it. I thought you understood. I didn't want to lead you on, so I told you everything as it is.
I love KILLIAN. That's commendable. I have respect for that.
I considered all possibilities first, of course, and initially I had decided not to pursue a relationship with you, but not being able to talk to you, to touch you, it was distracting and it tormented me even more.
Aww.
But don't think it's going to be easy. Maybe it's going to be even harder than if we were to stay apart.
Why?
I'm a complicated person, and I can be hard to get along with, and the circumstances here are not the best.
Fine, just give me some time to think.
I like that you're cautious.
You let KILLIAN know that he is important to you, of course.
Let's go back to the square. Lima must be waiting for us.
10 minutes later, we were all standing in front of the main entrance to the temple.
It's a strange setup, in my opinion. The three of us are here, while Rose and Vage are there.
It's not that strange. 2 men don't need a military attaché as much as 2 women do. I agree. Besides, there's another good reason for this.
And what's that?
Rose doesn't want to see me. And for at least one day, his wish is granted.
It's time for you to stop arguing with each other. It slows down our work.
I'm not the one who started it.
Yes, but you encourage it, Amala. No, I don't.
I'm just saying things from my perspective and he keeps on bullying me like
it would be wiser to just ignore him.
He wants me to give up my work. I'm not gonna ignore him for that. It's like giving him the blessing that he's treating me like shit.
As long as Emmett Rose is our team leader, we must follow his instructions. Arguing with him will only cause issues. Before entering the temple, we all took off our shoes and bought a flower offering for the goddess out of respect for the local culture. Okay. The first thing I felt when I was inside was the unpleasant smell of blood mixed with the aroma of incense. It was an extremely strange and repulsive combination. I winced but tried to hide it. What's the smell? In the next hall, sacrifices are being made to the goddess.
Sacrifices?
Yes, various animals, chickens, or something a little bigger.
That's disgusting. I mean, in my opinion, it is disgusting to have to bring offerings to a goddess, but this is an important part of this culture. So you should be more respectful. Kindness of goddess. How can I respect something like this? I have to. Like, as a person that respects every living thing, I have to respect it. Doesn't mean that I would encourage it if someone would tell me that I had to slaughter something and give it to the goddess as an offering. But I have to respect it because it's their culture and I'm in their land, so I have to respect them. This is how they worship their goddess. This is how they worship the goddess they love. They ask for her blessing. You can't come to a temple and disrespect its traditions. Do you understand? You respect the local customs. I have to. I would want someone from foreign countries coming to Germany or to Italy. I would want them to respect my culture, my living style. If I can't respect them, I can't expect them to respect my culture. Lima twitched her lips, but didn't say anything. I understood why she was disgusted by this, but I couldn't see it from her point of view. To me, everything looked different. You can't interfere with someone else's faith and apply your own rules. Yes. There is this Bengali saying, in the month of Ashvin, even a lousy goat is worth money. What they do with this goat, you understand?
The mouth is Ashvin.
This is the name of the month of Durga Puja, a religious festival in honor of the goddess Durga. I hope we won't be here for it. I can imagine the blood will be flowing like a river through Calcutta on such holidays. If things continue to move so slowly, we'll be here. It's pretty soon. I looked around. The space wasn't large, yet there was a sense of magnificence in every corner and every detail. A strange atmosphere of power filled this temple to the brim. Maybe it was because of the worshippers wandering the corridors or the smell of the incense. But as I stood there, I could tell it was the sanctuary of a great goddess. Where do we start? We should find some local priest and talk to him. Amala, do you mind if I take your arm? I don't feel good here. I'm not comfortable with that. It looks like Lima really isn't feeling well. Of course, hold on to me. That's fine, girl. I don't mind if it makes you feel better. Thank you. When we were at the crime scene, you seemed to be as tough as nails. I'm really tough when it's not about animal cruelty. But here, there's just such a creepy atmosphere. I don't know. This is a step towards strengthening your friendship. Nah. Lima took my arm and I smiled reassuringly at her. It's actually rather cute. We kept walking. It was unpleasant to walk barefoot on the cold floor. Mud and blood were mixed together, as many people walk down the street barefoot. Oh. My breath caught in my throat as we entered the next room. This is incredible.
What's the matter?
Not far from us, I noticed a young woman wearing an unusual traditional attire. She was burning incense on the altar of Kali.
Oh.
Indian Devadasis were the temple dancers who lived and worked in the name of their deity. I thought that Devadasis were found mainly in the south of India, and meeting one of them in Calcutta was incredible. It seems to be a Bayadere, an Indian temple dancer. She's so beautiful. I'll go talk to her. Wait here. I approached the Devadasi and addressed her in Hindi. Hello, my name is Amala Khan. I noticed your outfit. Are you a Devadasi? She smiled affably at me, bowing lightly.
Hello to you too. My name is Yashvi. Yes, I'm a wandering Devadasi. Now I serve in Calcutta.
Wandering? Aren't you tied to one temple and one deity?
I serve only the goddess Devi, the great Shakti. My goal is to serve at all Shakti Pitas. Do you know anything about it?
Respect, let's go. Yes, those are the sacred locations in Shaktism, where parts of the body of the goddess Sati fell after her posthumous separation. Every local where a part of the goddess fell became sacred.
Yes, that's right.
You have listened to the legend of Sati, so you can discuss it with the Devadasi. Yes, where I had to pay for that story that Manu told us, right?
There are 51 places in total, and the followers of Shaktism go on pilgrimage to visit each one of them.
And now you serve in Calcutta?
Yes, the great goddess Kali is one of the incarnations of Shakti, so it's very important to give her due respect.
Do you know a lot about her?
Devi Shakti is the meaning of my life. I dedicated my life to the goddess. If you're interested, I can tell you everything about the goddess Kali.
Do you speak English?
Yes.
I called KILLIAN and Lima over, briefly explaining who Yashvi was and what she did. Then we continued our conversation in English. What should I ask her? How did you become a Devadasi? Did your parents decide that?
No, the goddess herself called me. I lost my parents at an early age. Life gave me two paths. One of them was dark, full of filth and temptation, but it was easier to follow. The second path turned out to be difficult and full of challenges, but in it I found hope. As a woman, they wanted to use me for terrible, shameful purposes, and I would have allowed it, as I was so weak back then. But faith in the great Shakti, in female power, in my powerful energy, made me continue to fight.
Did you escape the fate that was ahead of you?
Yes, and I decided myself to serving the goddess. This is my life.
What do you do as a Devadasi? What do you do in the temples?
I stay for several months in every Shakti Pita temple I visit. I make offerings to the goddess, clean up, dance, and perform rituals. This is what my everyday consists of, serving Shakti. When I feel that my work there is done, I leave the temple and move to the next one.
Do you only serve Shakti? What about the others?
Only serve Shakti or Great Mother. I gave my life to her voluntarily, and after that I was initiated into Devadasi. I will never submit to another god. For me there is only the great Shakti.
We're interested in the goddess Kali. Can you tell us more about her?
To begin with, I think you should learn about how the great Kali came to be. I can tell you this legend briefly or in detail.
Again!
But honestly, I have the feeling that this is going to be very important for the storyline. There could be useful information in the detailed version. On the other hand, time is also of the essence for us. Tell us in detail. I hate myself. Details are important to us. I'm familiar with the short version.
As you wish, it will be an honor for me to tell you about it. So, this is the legend of the birth of the Dark Mother.
I'm very intrigued to know about her, so I had to at this point.
Oh, how cute! Once the cats lived in a calm, prosperous time. Each of them was busy with their own business, existing for the benefit of the human race. But this time was not destined to last forever.
Oh my god.
The terrible and powerful demon Mahishasura came back to settle old scores. He was so strong and so angry that the gods could not defeat him. The war between them and the demon lasted for 100 years, but he won. A difficult time began for the gods, and they had to submit to him and retreat.
Rage of Goddess, okay.
But he did not want to endure his reign for long. The gods appeared before the sacred triad, Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, and asked for help. When they learned about the atrocities perpetrated by Mahishasura, they became very angry, and they decided to create a being out of their anger.
Kali.
Taking the creative female energy of Shakti, the gods combined their powers, their rage, and their strength in her. And the dark and destructive hypostasis of sweet Parvati was born, the great goddess Kali, a warrior unlike any other in the world.
Kindness of Goddess.
Goddess Kali rushed into battle with a deafening cry that reached Mahishasura himself. He came to fight her, but his defeat was inevitable.
You listen to the legend.
Drunk with victory, Kali began to dance, and her dance could destroy everything around her. Only Shiva, who threw himself at the feet of his beloved furious wife, was able to stop her and calm her down.
Respect, okay. Why is she called Mother?
Because Kali is one of the incarnations of Shakti Devi, who is also called the Great Mother. If you are devoted and submissive to her, she will be kind and fair to you. If you anger her and do not show her due respect, angry Kali can bring terrible things upon you. Look at that old man.
Yashavi pointed to an old man kneeling by the image of Kali. He was silent, but moved his hands as if performing some kind of ritual. What is he doing?
This man has done a lot of bad things in his life, and in order to atone before the goddess, he cut off his tongue and sacrificed it.
His tongue?
He came here every day and asked Kali for forgiveness as best as he can. They say she punished him very severely.
How?
All his sons died one by one. He has no heirs left. He married a woman with a child, and now he prays for him every day, even though that's not his natural son.
I would say it comes down to what horrible things he's done. That's so sad. The pain of losing your own children must be unbearable.
It's proportionate to his deeds. Let's go to another room. I'll show you something.
We followed Yashvi, who led us to the first hall. There was grace and beauty in her every movement. Even watching her was a pleasure. Suddenly she stopped and bowed.
Mr. Dubai, what an honor and joy to see you here.
Before her stood a tall, stately man. He nodded to the Devadasi and then turned his gaze to us. Okay. Okay, Mr. Dubai. Oh my god. Oh my god. He is fine. Fine. Honestly, he had me shook in the last second of this episode. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, he is fine. Like, he's fine. Oh my god. Now I'm intrigued to find out who he is. We didn't even start the route with KILLIAN. We're gonna go for Mr. Dubai. I'm horrible. Oh, please be rude. Oh, well, anyways, that was it for episode 8 of Kali. And I'm intrigued to find out what happens in episode 9. Oh my god, please tell me that we can spend some time with Mr. Dubai, because this man is fine. Oh my god, again. Yeah, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.